I'm Carol Anne Fusco, and I'm doing the Sacred Story. When I first moved to the Bay Area, I loved the fact that here were cities that had creeks. You know, you don't see a lot of creeks in Brooklyn. And that a lot more creeks were running underground and hidden. And that there was a movement to daylight all the creeks that could be daylit. And I loved this. And you might be wondering, what has this got to do with Easter? Well, when I was a little kid, I noticed there seemed to be two different celebrations at Easter. There was the celebration of the resurrection of Jesus, and then there was the Easter bunny and baskets and chocolate and eggs. And I thought, this is interesting. This is like, why? I loved it, but why? And where did the name Easter come from? Well, the Venerable Bede, who was a 7th century monk and respected historian, says that the Anglo-Saxon people, and also there were Germanic people too, the ancestors of many of us here, they celebrated a feast at the spring equinox in honor of the goddess of spring, Easter. I believe in the Germanic languages she was called Ostara, or maybe that's Greek, but she had many names. And it was at this time of year that people who were hungry because food was scarce at the end of winter, at the beginning of spring, would go out into the woods. And hares, not the ones on your head, but the ones that we often confuse with rabbits, hares lived in structures on the ground that resembled the nests of a bird called a lapwing. And in the spring, the lapwings would put the people believed that the lapwings had put their eggs in the nests. And this thing arose of the hares being the ones who brought the eggs. Does this sound familiar? There was also a myth about the goddess disguising herself as a hare and delivering baskets of eggs to people in need. So you see, most of our lives, most of us, many of us, have been actually celebrating an ancient Anglo-Saxon ritual every Easter. And I thought I would daylight the memory of this that's been here present all along for 2,000 years and beyond. Before that, it's been present among us. And I thought I would let you know what that was about. And you know, in our culture this day, there are so many forces that want to polarize us, that want to pull us apart, that want us to be either or people. But I say we ought to be both and people. Incorporate all the gifts of spirit into our spiritual lives. So today, in the spirit of Easter and Easter, we have this altar here. On it we have colored eggs. I know some of you adults have been coveting the fact that little kids get to go hunt for these. I know I have. We also have napkins. The colored eggs can be put in the napkins to hold. We also have these cards, flower cards, spring flowers, that also happen to be postcards. So I'm going to invite you in a moment. Deb's going to play us some noodling music, and I'm going to invite you to come up, take an egg, take a napkin and an egg and a card, and just trust your hand to pick up a card. Don't look at them a long time. There's a lot of us. We want this to move. Just trust. And when you get your card, take it home. Put it on your mantelpiece or your altar if you have one, or fill it out in the back and send it to someone. Send it to someone who needs to hear from you, or someone you don't know. If you're a member of this church, I'm going to take my parish list and close my eyes and point and send it to whoever my finger lands on. So take it away, Deb. Come up. Take an egg, a napkin, an egg, and a flower card.